this is my last video for today, but yeah, it's like 10 something at night. I'm getting tired. But no, but I know that a couple friends of mine, let's say, you've got friends that post on Facebook and stuff like that, and you comment on them, and just for laughs and stuff like that, just to make them, not feel bad about the day and stuff like that. And I'll sit there and comment on it and stuff like that, but, in return, you'd think that they'd, comment back if you have something wrong or going on. Well, let's say some of my friends on Facebook, they don't do that. They're more like, well, it looks like you're on your own kind of people, which I really don't think are even friends. They're just not friends at all, actually. So I don't even know why I have them on there, but I don't know. There's just so many things that excuse me, that are going through my mind. It's constantly running things through my mind, or going through scenarios and stuff. Like my heart, for instance. It skips beat. I think it's called an AFib or something like that, where irregular heartbeat or something like that, where randomly it'll skip beats or it'll stall. By stall, I mean it'll beat regularly, like dum 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 dum, and sometimes it'll go dum 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 dum, like it'll literally stall out like a motor would do. Like it'll stall out, but then it'll catch itself and get back into rhythm. Sometimes it's long enough to where I can feel the blood stop rushing in my body, which is really scary. But I don't fear it for some reason. It's just like, oh, it happened again. Oh well. I don't know why, but it's just like that. I mean, it's really scary, especially when you're home alone and your mom and dad are like miles apart or miles away because they're together, and you're watching the dogs at home, and the closest relative that can get here in a quick time is 12 miles out, and it's not a clear shot. It's more like 9 miles of nothing but hills, 90-degree turns, and a couple straight shots, but that's about it. And then you've got one that's in town that is like 80 to 90 years old, and she can't move that quickly, so you're kind of like screwed. And by the way, the person I'm relating to is my brother, and he doesn't necessarily drive a sports car. He drives a big truck, so yeah, that thing ain't gonna make it around the corners like my car can. And if I call the police, then that means that they're gonna bring an ambulance, which means I'm gonna have to pay for the ambulance to be there, crap like that, just for the ambulance to come. It's stupid how they're like, well, since the ambulance is here, you. Oh wait, no. I think it's more like if you get in there just to drive you to the hospital, that it'll cost you. I don't know how much it is to get there, but I don't know. But like I've already been hit by an SUV in 2013 or 14. That's I was on my bike, riding in the bike path, and there was no signs for me to stop or anything else like that, so I had to go by traffic. Well, a car ran a red light. I was going northbound, and the car was going southbound, ran a red light, and the guy or the woman running from east to west was heading westbound and was on her phone, wasn't paying attention, even though I had a bright orange shirt on against pavement, which everybody knows is gray or black, and she completely missed that and nailed me, even though I was wearing a bright orange t-shirt and a green mountain bike. And she nails me, and the cops and every witness there said it was my fault, even though I was on ISU campus, and it was at an intersection, and they don't have the stop sign or anything there. Plus, it was during a daytime to where I couldn't see properly. And yeah, I slowed down a bit, but I seen a car go through the intersection. I'm thinking, okay, car went through. I guess it's alright to go through. But the bad part was that the intersection, the bike path, for some reason, it went from, if you're going the direction of traffic from that street, which was going north to southbound, then the path would be on the left side of the car if you're heading southbound on the street, to the right side of the car during that intersection, which is completely stupid. But anyways, they tried to get me for $1,600 worth of damage, which all it was the front license plate holder, which she didn't have a front license plate on, was ripped off, and there was a giant dent on the hood where my hips hit and launched me into the air, because at the time I looked over and I seen it, and I quickly stood up on the left side of the bike, and she hit me on my right side and knocked me into the air. And what's funny is that my mind was thinking, oh crap, and I went from looking right, I looked directly at her too, and I knew that she was on the phone because I could see her hand up like this. And I was like, oh great, we got somebody on her phone not paying attention. And she nailed me going like 5-10 miles an hour. It wasn't much, but it was enough to knock me off my bike, to send me up in the air. And while I was in the air, my mind was going, I believe I can fly. I kid you not. In my head, I was thinking that as I was flying in midair. I was like, oh great, here we go. And I'm like, where am I gonna land? Am I gonna hit my back? Is my back gonna hit first? Is my back of my head gonna hit first? What's gonna do it? And next thing I know, the back of my head hits first, and it knocked me out for a little bit. It did. It knocked me out for a couple seconds. I woke up, or I came to, and I did a self-check. By self-check, I first wiggled my toes and fingers, then I went for my ankles and wrists, and then I went to move my arms, and then after my arms, I didn't move my head at all. What I did was I put my arms on my chest to, put slight pressure to feel if anything was hurting or loose, and I went from my chest down to my legs on both sides as far as I can go without bending. And that's whenever I rolled left and right, and then I put my elbows on the ground and lifted myself up to see if anything hurt. And as soon as I was lifting myself up, somebody grabbed my shoulder, and jerked me down on the ground and said, I'm a first responder, don't move. And I was like, okay, if you're a first responder, then you should know not to touch somebody who just got into an accident or got hit by an SUV or a vehicle. They could have something broken. If I was actually injured and that person didn't know about it and grabbed my shoulder and jerked me down, I could have technically sued them for hurting me even more. but luckily nothing was hurt, and I'm not that type of person. But whenever I got knocked out, before I did, or as soon as I hit the ground, I got knocked out for like maybe 1 second or a second or two, because I remember not seeing anything, and then I hear the car door shut, and a lady saying, "I need to go, I just hit somebody." And what's funny is that, all the people there saying it's my fault and stuff. I'm sorry, but, if a woman's on the phone and she's not paying attention and I have a bright orange shirt, it should be her fault. I'm not saying it's about a woman. I'm just saying if you're not paying attention and they have an obvious bright shirt on to where they can be seen and they're still not paying attention, then they should be fined for it, not me or the person who got hit. Especially $1,600 for a freaking hood. I mean, seriously, you can go to a junkyard and find a hood that's white. If not, you can get one. Do it yourself. Sand it down. Put primer on it. I mean, it's easy. If you know what you're doing, it's pretty simple. But I don't know. There's just some people in here that are just completely and utterly stupid on some things. And I know, because I am utterly and completely stupid on some things. But, if it's as simple as that, then, yeah, you don't need no $1,500 to get that fixed. Like my neighbors, 2 houses next to me. One of their buddies parked their truck halfway in the alleyway. I couldn't get in. I didn't see their truck. 1, there's no street light back there. 2, I was backing in. That's how I get in there, because I don't want to have to pull forward in just to make a 3-point turn with no power steering just to back it up into the garage. Well, I was backing up, and I wasn't even on the gas. I just let off the clutch and let it roll. So about 5 miles an hour, maybe less than that. And supposedly, my plastic bumper to their 1997-98 GMC Sierra 1500, apparently my plastic bumper knocked that metal bumper into the wheel and was causing it to rub, which is complete and utter BS, if you ask me. And their insurance company even said, "Oh yeah, those vehicles have soft metal." 1, why do they have soft metal on a truck? It's not supposed to be soft metal or anything like that. There's no why. It's I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But they got $1,800 out of my insurance company. I didn't have to pay a thing, but it's still the fact that $1,800. And then the next day, I see them with the truck, which wasn't the truck that I backed into. I see them back there pulling it out, and I see the truck that I backed into in front of the house with no damage at all. And I didn't see this until weeks later, because I thought that was a truck I hit. But then, upon closer look, they pretty much swapped the trucks, and they did it. They talked about it because they didn't come to me that night. Because that night he said it was fine, don't worry about it. That truck's been beat up a lot of times. It's no big deal. Well, later on in the morning, he comes over, knocks on my mom's door, and then comes over to my door asking me for my insurance. Dude, that's an easy sign of thinking about it and thinking, oh, we can get money out of this person, like insurance fraud. Dude, come on now. I'm not that stupid. I just thought it was completely weird, but I thought it was, the right thing to do to give you my insurance company, or insurance card and stuff, because, that's what happens in a wreck. You got to give that insurance out, or information out, or else, I forgot what it is. But oh well, I don't know. I'm just rambling on. I'm just really upset and depressed and everything else. It's not going to be a good night. I'm probably going to be up all night. Who knows? I might make more videos. I don't know. But I'll see y'all later. I'm going to go calm down or something. Play video games or watch anime. I don't know. I got to do something. This is making me starting to shake, and it's not good. It's starting to have spasms. Spasms, and I don't know. I don't know, but I gotta go.